Welcome to St. Augustine Beach for another earthworks project. Come on, let's show you all the details. Really cool customer I met. He came to us and saw our water features at the nursery and wanted us to build after he saw what we do. He was inspired himself. We got to use some Missouri rock on this project, which is something we don't normally use a lot on big features. This is a big koi pond, series of waterfalls and a stream that goes under a bridge that goes to the front door of this big old house. So it's going to be a really neat project. When you're digging in St. Augustine, I mean, this is where the rocks were harvested to build the fort. All these boulders you see were dug and placed there. We're going to use them in the landscape just to complement the rocks we're using for the water feature. You can see we've got good access here. That's always key. We've got some big machinery we've got to get in here. And then timing. You can see how it's still really raw. This is a really good time to get in. Straight from Missouri. They come with the tree roots in them still. So these make the best waterfalls. You see some of these natural little cracks and crevices. They still have the moss on them and stuff like that. I got 5 or 6 really choice boulders that are going to go around the pool even. So he loves them so much. We're putting them in the front yard and the backyard. Something unique here, guys, about this job. The whole property had to be built up with a bulkhead. You can see the dock I'm on. This is all brand new. The bulkhead at the back is 5 foot tall, so think about the elevation change there. And that's all the way around the whole property, all the way up to the front. So that's really unique to have here. All the boulders we showed you up front came from just the excavation of the retaining wall around the property. You can see the scale of this job, guys. This is not a turn and burn type job. This is something I've been working on for 6 months. It's many emails, many phone calls, and it's not something you would do with your typical client, but that's something that Earthworks does extra.
We're at the Corneal residence. We are in Matanzas, I believe. Matanzas, Crescent Beach, Butler Beach area. About 58-minute drive from our nursery. So this is a little bit of a hike, but it's a really, really awesome project. So the Corneals are getting this custom home built, which gives us amazing timing as far as getting in here before irrigation's down, plants are in. It's just a raw canvas for us to come in and work. So the only thing that was really done before we came in were the pavers. That added some challenges, but it also gave us the correct elevations to work with as far as our water level goes. Challenging in the aspect of getting machine access in here. All these are fairly large boulders. This is our weathered limestone that comes from Missouri. So this runs about $450 a ton. This is well worth it. You can get cheaper rock, but it does not, it doesn't do it justice. I mean, this is the best building material as far as water features go. It has amazing erosion lines in it, tons of moss covering it. This stuff just really, really sets off the water features. So this is a good treat for us using the weathered limestone. So as far as the access goes, you can see bringing a machine on top of the brand new pavers, that's a little nail biting because you don't know how much crush they put down. You know, you don't want to be pivoting on it. You just got to protect, protect, protect. So we had underlayment on it, we had plywood, we had dirt ramps coming on, and still just our access as far as reaching the far ends of the pond, it was a good deal of work, but we pulled it off. This is our 5th day out here. We have probably 3 more boulders to set up in our stream area, and then we can just backfill the rocks real quick with the excavator and we'll be able to turn this thing on. That's our goal for the rest of the day, is to get that done. So then our last day, we'll be out here hooking up all of our lights. They're already in place, of course, in the pond, but just making the wiring connections, just doing a final rake and grade. We got one of the double robellinis installed just because of the access was so poor. We just handled it. We have our foreman, Cosman. He's gonna be coming out, installing all the plants around our water feature. A neat feature on this project that we don't get to control, unfortunately. We like to control it, but it's up to the builder to make it happen. There's gonna be a bridge crossing this stream. So the choke down points, super crucial here to not make it too wide of a span for that bridge. But you can see this is kind of our guideline here, the elevation, the next step. What I'm talking to the homeowner and the builder about, just because, I mean, we come in, we build our thing, and you know, they're gonna build around it. Typically, I would like to do it the other way if the bridge was here, because you could bring rock to it, but there's pros and cons each way. So this elevation here is gonna shoot level out across here, and then there's gonna be a one step up to that from the paver. So a step up right across there, and then one step up underneath their overhang to the front door. I can't wait until that goes in, because that's really, really gonna make this project awesome and super unique. Like I said, we have this double robellini in, so yes, I know it's crooked. That is done intentionally. We're kind of fighting this corner of the house right now, but on the other hand, I was talking to Scott, and Scott was cool enough to trust us. This is our profession, this is our passion. We purposely angled it away for the house, so intentionally, you know, the years to come, 4 or 5 years down the road, it's gonna straighten up, and he's gonna have a nice curved specimen, a nice robellini just kind of hanging out over the pond, and it's gonna straighten up and then hopefully grow out away from his gutters and not be a problem. So that's really fun. Right now it looks a little funky and stiff, but a couple years it's definitely gonna be well worth it. We do have 3 pieces of driftwood that we worked in the edge, one standing vertical down here by the skimmer. And actually, I got to get with Cosman when he comes out with plants, because I know he's going to have some nice tropicals and bromeliads, to be specific. The cool thing about this wood, it's actually wicking up, and down here in the pocket, it's holding about like a 1/2 inch of water. So I really want to turn this into a planter of some sort. You know, have a bromeliad just kind of hucking out over that. Really cool little feature. This is another piece. I actually broke this. 1, 2, these 2 pieces were actually one single piece, and I sat there and I broke it intentionally. This really just highlights a nice curve to this area here. I don't want to say it softens it, but I think it just adds a nice flair to it. Our third piece is down this way, right under the robellini, giving some nice curved lines to the edge of the pond. Numerous planting pockets for aquatics throughout here. We did a really good job of covering our butts on that one, making sure that the ecosystem will be able to grow into a healthy one. Plenty of aquatics is how you do that. This one's gonna have 2 falls. We have a 5,000 gallon per hour pump on this. One fall that's gonna be coming here, shooting directly out to the street, which is super key. I'm still kind of debating whether or not I'm gonna do something here. I don't think I will. I'm gonna block that off. We have this area here, where we're gonna have all sorts of action. 1 watt light coming up on that one. Whenever we come out to do a clean out, you know, he's gonna find a couple more spots to plug in some more lighting to really make this thing come alive at night. So a lot of directional change here, capturing all of that viewpoint. The other viewpoint that he wanted to see the waterfalls from was gonna be inside his living room. That's what the one coming off of the biofall is gonna achieve. We just set our 2 frame rocks up against it. Another hour worth of work, and we'll be able to have this thing all dotted up, dots connected. But I mean, this rock is just amazing. You can see just how much, and this moss is thick. This stuff is just like a carpet over this. It's beautiful. Just all the line work from erosion over the years, just super natural, good looking stuff. I'm ready to turn this thing on.
Today we're just finishing up at the Corneal job. I'm moving a few plants around. They were getting a little too much exposure. We're gonna put another guy in that doesn't mind so much sun. I'm just adjusting a few things, last minute stuff. We wanna go ahead and kind of show you the finished product today. One of the coolest projects I think we've done all year. I love when we can use the Missouri rock. It just lends itself to the waterfalls and just the naturalness that we want our waterfalls to project and our water features. You can see some of the ground cover sedum in here. This is a plum hue also that's a ground cover, so this will stay really low profile and won't hide the feature itself, and the stonework will stand up out of that. You've got some bigger bromeliads, variegated scheffleras, a little dwarf xanadu, phillies up there. It'll get a little taller, give it a little bit of a backdrop. We went totally tropical around the pond. You can see it goes right to the front door, so this is the main feature when you see when you come up the driveway. I've already got a lot of compliments from the guys that work out here that are here at sunrise, that sit out here and have their morning coffee and their breakfast and things, so they really enjoy it too. You've got some different cycads, the spinulosum there. You've got a really cool agave up there, and then some of the hues that'll actually hold the ground in place here. The bigger focal point here is the double mule palm we put in the back. I think that's a really awesome palm. So that'll just grow and fill in, and we get about the height of the roof line up there. And that's another focal point you see coming down the driveway. We had to take into consideration the salt content because we're close to the beach here. So you see a lot of things that will tolerate some salt and some that will not, where there's protected areas here that you can't really see either, called microclimates. Where I've moved big elephant ears into shady pockets, and I've used palm trees to create those same little areas where we can grow those plants, and it's almost a hidden little area in itself in the landscape. And anytime you can mix the varieties, you know, these plants are here, they don't actually bloom a whole lot, but the texture and the combination of that is what catches your eye. So that makes for low maintenance as well. Anytime you're using the palms, the agaves, mix the varieties of plants in your landscape with the diversity. Don't worry about flowers and things that are going to bloom, but worry about foliage color and contrasting mounds and little clumps of plants that will contrast in the landscape together to give you a layered effect. The pond here and the entryway being the main focal point. And you can see the way the bridge lines and the rock just merge together right there perfectly. And it just makes you want to walk up here and just sit here all day. It's a peaceful serenity feel when you come home. If you come through a front garage and go into the front door, it's really nice to have there. It's really Florida friendly. This is not only just a pond, it's a whole ecosystem. The lighting and everything here, the filtration, just the design work alone, we can help you with every aspect of the job, guys. So just come to us for any questions. If you need some plants ID'd, if you need some recommendations only about where to put varieties of plants, where they'll work, just check us out, guys. So thanks again.